from the home of the three-piece combos, Pugilism Company. This is Reed, BBS, Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. In the last podcast, Sarge just dropped. We were speaking of Wilder Fury. And with that aforementioned fight demanding pay-per-view coverage and eating up Showtime's winter pay-per-view slots, it's affecting Mikey Garcia's ill-fated challenge, his death wish, if you will, of Errol Spence. And it's looking like that fight will be pushed back until 2019. With that said, Mikey's now in talks with Team Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, of course. That would be a great matchup given their most recent performances. And if Mikey's dead set on challenging Spence, I think he should fight Pacquiao at welterweight. Of course, neither man are natural welters. They could, meet in the high 130s, low 140s. But if I'm Mikey, I don't make any weight stipulations. Just say, hey, let's call it a welterweight fight, and you and I step on the scales at whatever weight as long as it's less than 147. That way Mikey can see how his body feels, how it reacts. And the bottom line is, if he can't beat today's version of Pacquiao at that weight, he was never going to even be remotely competitive with Errol Spence any damn way. Now, Top Rank's involvement with Manny, that could or could not be an issue. It seems to be dwindling. For Manny's last fight against Matisse, he promoted it himself, but he allowed Top Rank to have the American rights to it, which, of course, they put on the ESPN Plus app. But so Top Rank isn't completely out of the picture, yet they're not all the way in the picture either. Which to me, it makes it all the more likely that this fight could happen. It makes Manny versus Mikey feasible, if you will. Bob Ram's grudge against Mikey will be less of a factor in this case, given what I just said. Manny still got speed, still got power, and he's still a southpaw. You couple that with Mikey's skill set, his timing, his technique, and counterpunching, and man, that's a damn good fight. It's like the perfect step-up fight for Mikey to see if he's even remotely able to be competitive with EJ. Because I don't think he is, so a Manny fight would make him and EJ make that an even sweeter option, an even bigger fight. Similarly ill-fated is Abner Morris's desire to face Gervonta Tank Davis. Ironically, Morris has the same trainer as Mikey, Robert Garcia. Man, this could be an even bigger mismatch than Spence Mikey appears to be. You know, I get it, money fights. Hey, you go where the money is. But like Mama said, Reed, all money ain't good money, son. And I don't know that adding yourself to Tank's highlight reel of knockouts or being concussed and or hospitalized is worth it in the end. I mean, what good is all that money if you ain't able to spend it? Abner's way too little, bro. Like, way too little. He's a former bantamweight, and he was never even a puncher at 118. Sure, Gervonta's short. The height difference will be negligible between them. But that motherfucker's called Tank for a reason. He's thick-bodied. He's like a Canelo Alvarez built motherfucker. And he's going to roll right over and break down Abner Morris like the tanks that used to bust up and ram down them houses, them dope houses in South Central LA in the 80s. That's going to be Tank against Abner Morris. Probably even worse. We quick hitting and tidbitting you today. Read BBS from the home of the three-piece combos, Pugilism Company. Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter, Saturday, September 8th, from Barclays in Brooklyn, New York. Garcia, he says he has tricks up his sleeve to help combat Porter's infighting and tendency to lead with his head. You know how Porter accidentally on purpose seems to headbutt everybody on purpose accidentally. You know what I'm saying? Angel Garcia says there's nothing special about Porter and that he just uses his head. Like, that's all they're preparing for, which obviously that's bullshit. Among the talks Garcia says it could be a short night if Porter opens up. Says he won't be surprised if he's the first to KO Porter. He said Porter should have stopped Adrian Granados instead of needing a decision. Kenny Porter says Danny better be prepared to kill because Sean will be. Kenny said he has serious doubts Danny's willing to go toe-to-toe with his son. Sean gave Danny a C for the Brandon Rios KO. And Sean calls his upcoming fight with Garcia the biggest fight of his life. It's going to be a good fight, man. Shifts in momentum, lively punching exchanges. It'll be interesting to see what happens if or when Garcia catches Porter with a clean looping left hook. I mean, that's Garcia's money shot. That's his bread and butter right there. That's, if he's Thor, then that's his hammer, that looping left hook. But the snap on it is only felt from range. See, that's the key. From that long winging windup, that's where Garcia generates the power on it. So to me, Danny's gonna have to get more mileage out of his left jab and his right cross to win this fight. You got to make them 1-2s count. He's gonna have to make them 1-2s count. Keep Porter on the perimeter some type of way. My guess is that Porter will have a scare or 3, but primarily I expect him to stay up close to Danny, make it a bit of a dog fight, minimizing Garcia's ability to hurt him and winning a clear but close UD. Now that said, this is one of those matchups where if they fought 10 times, man, a 5-5 split would be very likely. Before we get out of here, obviously we got to mention Canelo Alvarez versus Gennadiyevich Golovkin 2 coming up September 15th from the T-Mobile Arena in Lost Wages, Nevada. Mud is being slung big time between these two this go around. If they were exchanging pleasantries and keeping it cordial the first time, we're not getting any of that this go around for the rematch. And that's never bad for the promotion of a fight. Let's just put it out there. Never is. Triple G saying fake people support Canelo while real people support him. Says he only felt slaps from Canelo, no real power. Straight up called Canelo a liar. Questions his respect for boxing and the fans. And then said he doesn't fight in a real Mexican style. You got De La Hoya saying it's personal. I've never seen Canelo so angry. Ooh, yeah, sell it, Oscar, sell it. Canelo says he's motivated to hurt Golovkin and isn't interested in being friendly at all once the fight is over. He's like, just stay in your lane, man. That same energy you've been bringing, you just keep that same energy after we fight. That's what Canelo's saying. At the end of the day, Canelo is a spurt fighter. He just is what he is. Nice quick hands, two-fisted power, good combinations, but he throws in spurts. When he gets off, wop, head, body combinations, he's going to then have to take a few seconds to gather himself, to gather his breath. Instead of a suspect chin, you could say Canelo has suspect cardio. Instead of a glass chin, my man got glass stamina. Glass stamina. Always has and always will. Triple G won the first fight, and he'll win the rematch. It would be better for boxing if Canelo won convincingly, but unless he's found some contaminated meat to assist with that stamina, I just don't see what he can do differently, y'all. Anyways, from the home, the one and only home, the sole proprietors of the three-piece combos, Pugilism Company. This is Reed, BBS. Blackbird Sugar, bachelor's in boxing studies. And when all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.